Hello there guys, it's the day before possibly the biggest game of the season so far. Manchester City welcome PSG for the second leg of the Champions League semi-final to the Etihad, and I cannot wait. Today I'm going to preview this game. But before I do that though, I want to say thank you to OneFootball for supporting and sponsoring my channel. Absolute awesome app, OneFootball. Go and download it right now in the link in the description below. As you can see, all the Manchester City news, all the Manchester City stats, and all the information from around the world of football, so you can go and follow your favourite teams, get all the big transfer news, and keep up to date with all the alerts and all the news from around the world of football. And it helps support my channel a little bit, so what's not to love about it? Over 10 million people have downloaded OneFootball, and you can join the ever-growing army for free. Absolutely costs nothing, so go download it right now in the link in the description and do yourself a big old favour. I also want to do a little bit of housekeeping. I will be live tomorrow morning with Asan chatting about the game, which is like a tradition now. Me and Asan chatting before a Champions League game, so tune in tomorrow morning around 10 a.m. I reckon UK time for that chat, and there will be a watch along tomorrow, of course, so go and make sure you put a reminder to watch the watch along tomorrow, which would be good fun. It'll be a big one. And don't forget as well, fan view live after the game, where members or Patreons can have their say and have a chat with me about the game. So if you want to have a chat with me about the game tomorrow live on the YouTube, on the internet, all you gotta do is become a patron or a member. All the links are in the description below, of course. But let's go on to this game, because it's a big game. It's a very big game. We have a toe. I wouldn't say 1 foot. I think we have a toe in the final at the moment. We are 2-1 ahead, of course, with 2 away goals. Kevin De Bruyne and Riyad Mahrez coming up clutch in a massive moment for Manchester City. After a very good second half over in Paris. I mean, this is as good a chance as we've ever had to get to a final. We are in a very good situation here, and all we need is to stop PSG scoring 2 goals, basically, and we should be through. That's all we need to do. It's easier said than done, of course, but we can't underestimate what this game could mean for us if we do manage to get through this. It's massive, and I want to see the players alert and alive and up for this, knowing that basically everything else is done. We haven't won the league yet, but we're going to win the league. We've already won the Carabao, the most important trophy of the season, of course, in my personal opinion. But after that, everything else is wrapped up, man. We've got to put everything we've got into this, and it's also a very fresh squad as well because of the rotations at the weekend. So there's no excuses right now. There is no excuses. Guardiola talked about this quite a lot. Talked about the game quite a lot in the press conference. He said, and this is a quote, excuse me, he said, emotions means you can't predict a game, but it can be completely different to what you expect. You can't play for 90 minutes like we played the second half. It's not going to happen. It will be tough and we will suffer. I'm sure we will react well and impose. It comes from inside. We've got to visualise what we have to do. It's not different from what we've done in the last 8 months, but we don't demand anything special. It's real tough. The Premier League is the same level as PSG. You always play difficult games in the Champions League too. He went all philosophical as well. He said, nobody controls chaos. I can't predict what happens. Different teams, different moments. You have good moments and disappointing moments. We make an exceptional performance against Spurs back in 2019, but we couldn't go through. Now we're going to try and reach the Champions League final. Yeah, and he's right. That's the one thing that, you can't predict. You never know what's going to happen at the moment. Teams can get lucky or unlucky or whatever. Football is a crazy beast, and that's why we love it. But all we can do, obviously, is to play our best and hope for the best. Guardiola was talking about his worries because he was asked that question. He said, I've got a few things. At the same time, I'm incredibly optimistic. I'm more calm than before. The players trained well today and yesterday. Everyone wants to help. I take a look and you know the quality of the opponent. He was asked about Kylian Mbappe. He's really not buying the rumours that Mbappe's injured. Mbappe sat out at the weekend. He said, absolutely, I'm looking forward to it. He's going to play. I'm looking forward to him playing. For the football, for the game itself, hopefully he can play. So Guardiola's not fooled at all. He knows that we all know that Mbappe is going to play this game. The biggest game of the season for them, of course he's going to play. He was also asked about Mbappe and Neymar in general. He said they played really well in the first half, exceptional. Mbappe is dangerous in the second. We were better though. They judged Mbappe and Neymar because they lost. If they won, they played good. I think they played good. And he's right there. They played good. They did play good. Quiet in the second half, but they did play good. In terms of the team news, it's essentially as you were, really. We've got everyone fit, apart from Eric Garcia, who probably had zero chance of playing in this game anyway, if we're being totally honest. But other than that, one thing I will say about the team news is it's nice coming off the back of the game at the weekend. Seeing some of the fringe players at the moment, and I use that in inverted commas for a reason because it's a little bit harsh. I say fringe players because they're the ones currently not in favour, and not because they're not as good, just because their form maybe isn't quite as good as some of the others. But it's nice seeing some of those players anyway, with a big caveat there, in good form. Like obviously, Sterling looked a bit better at the weekend. Of course, as well, Ferran Torres had a really good game. Ake played pretty well as well. And of course, it's crazy to think of him as a fringe player these days, but that's what he is at the moment. Sergio Aguero was very useful. And imagine we're late on in this tie and we need a goal. All of a sudden, Sergio has now become a more viable option than he was perceived previously, which is absolutely fantastic, of course. So the team news is that the Strong is healthy, confident, and looking really good. In terms of the lineup, I think we know what the lineup's going to be, really. I think the players that didn't play the weekend, was so many sat on the bench, and that bench was full of absolute top quality players. They're all going to start. They're all going to start, in my opinion. Every single one of them. Unless there's someone out there that I don't know, was like Scott Carson or something like that. I know he's not. You know what I mean? You know what I'm getting at. Obviously, Edison is going to be in goal. And I reckon Kyle Walker will be right back. And I think Zinchenko was so good in that little cameo that he's played his way into this starting lineup. Zinchenko, for me, will be a left back with Kyle Walker. And then, of course, you've got Diaz, Stones, and Laporte. Now, Guardiola was talking about those players. He said about Stones and Diaz, he said they're comfortable, but Aymeric always expresses and is always perfect with John or Ruben. The last game, Nathan was exceptional. Aymeric, you know my opinion, he never makes a bad performance. Oh, he's not about Eric Garcia there. So they are good, they communicate good and help with each other and talk a lot. So basically, he was picking up all his centre-backs. Having said that, it's going to be Stones and Diaz, in my opinion. They were very good the other day, so I don't see any reason, despite Laporte being good recently, any reason why it won't be them. In midfield, we know it's going to be Rodri. And I think we also know it's going to be Gundogan and Bernardo doing the legwork in midfield. Obviously, they are our strongest midfield three, given the fact that we're playing a false nine at the moment. And I do think we'll be playing a false nine. I think it's pretty much as you were. There's an argument for Jesus, maybe Aguero, maybe Sterling, but I think it's going to be Foden, Mahrez, because they were rested, and rightfully so. And then it's going to be Kevin De Bruyne playing as the false nine. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, as the old saying goes. And I think that's exactly what they'll be doing there. And whether we agree or not, I'm almost certain that's what's going to be happening. In terms of the opposition bit, well, we know an awful lot about PSG. They beat Lens 2-1 at the weekend. They're currently sitting second in the French league, 1 point behind Lille with 3 games to play. So the thing is, they have to play a pretty strong team at the weekend because they need to win the league still. So we're in a good position. The fact that they couldn't rest players and we could rest players. Mbappe didn't play at the weekend because he's still recovering from this knock. He's going to be fine. He's going to be totally fine. He's travelled with the squad. He will be playing almost certainly. But of course, they're without Idrissa Gueye as well. He got himself sent off, and he's a big part of what makes their midfield so good. You know, their energy and all that kind of stuff. He won't be there, which is absolutely massive. I mean, who came off for him at the weekend? I can't remember. And Herrera came on for him at the weekend, I think. Was it Verratti? Either way, Idrissa Gueye is a big player for them, and him not being there is massive blow for them. But they've got quality. Di Maria actually sat out at the weekend. So Di Maria will play. They've got Draxler and Icardi, which are not bad backups if they can't play Mbappe, of course. But we know Mbappe will be playing there as well. And obviously they've got quality all over the pitch, Marquinhos and Kimpembe and all that kind of stuff. So, and Keylor Navas is a very good keeper too. But we know they're a very good side, and we know their plan will be to kind of they're so highly energetic when they're in that kind of counter-attacking phase and that mode. So they will be looking for moments of brilliance in the likes of Di Maria and Neymar and Mbappe. And one thing we learned about him is that the greatest set pieces. Who knew that they were absolutely brilliant at set pieces? But here we are. I didn't know. I haven't been paying attention. I'll admit that to Liga. So who knows, man? But in terms of my prediction, guys, I'm confident. I am confident, genuinely. I don't know if this will change or not. I don't know if I'm being naive, but I am confident this Manchester City side will get the job done. I think we will do. That first half, there is going to be pain. Guardiola's right. At some point, it's going to feel like the game runs away from us, and we're all going to lose our minds as always. But what I will say is, don't lose your head. This City side are very good. They are very focused. They know what they're doing. So we need to be calm. We need to be controlled. We need to be alert, and also react maturely if we do concede a goal, because that goal is going to happen. PSG are too good a side with too many quality players, and there's too many anxious moments and nerves for us not to concede, in my personal opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Big Stones and Diaz should just absolutely lock the doors down and we absolutely own it. But I think we'll concede. But I guess the key to then is to remember that PSG have to push for a second, and that will leave a bit of space. That will leave a little bit of Of course, we're optimism for our attacking players, and hopefully we can capitalise on that. I'm going to say Manchester City will win. I think it'll be tense, nerve-wracking and painful, but I'm going for that famous Manchester City score these days, 2-1 Man City, and that would put us in the Champions League final. I could be wrong, but I'm saying this, I'm going to verbalise it and wish it into existence. Manchester City in the Champions League final, I reckon that'll be what we're talking about in 36 hours from now. Fingers crossed I am right. Guys, thank you so much, of course, for all the love from everyone on the Patreon recently and the members. youtube.com/Esteemed Company/join for the members. And as you can see alongside me, patreon.com/Esteemed Company. Thank you to my Patreon producers, the pair of them, Ahmed Al-Ali and William Pritchard, absolute legends, supporting me at the highest tier. Guys, you're heroes. And as is every single name scrolling down the side of the screen. And as is you watching this video right now. If you got this far, you're an absolute legend. Thank you so much. Don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Go watch the 5 things learned from yesterday. I'll see you tomorrow morning for a chat with Asan, and I'll see you tomorrow afternoon and evening for some Manchester City versus PSG. In a bit.